So, for just to give me an idea, I recognize a lot of faces, and to see how much I can bore you with the story. How many of you know the AEP story there? So, okay, great. So you're almost everybody, right? So basically, then I'll put the map on. So in 1999, I had the opportunity to buy a small trust plant on Vancouver Island in Nanaimo. The revenue was about $96,000 a year, and I paid $45,000 cash for that business. And that was 1999. In November, it will be our 8th-year anniversary that we went public. And the reason I went public was, after all the years, through some of my contacts and some close friends I have with, and relationship I have through football with the Boyd Auto Body and everything, I love the story of consolidation and moving around the country stuff there. So I saw opportunity in the trust business, and we said, okay, let's go public, and we're going to go across the country and buy different companies and everything and consolidate the industry. And then, so if you look at the map, and that's why I just put the map, we were here, and then now if you look at the map, basically, as of the last M&A we did was here in Saskatchewan, we covered the Canada. And then now we have increased with our shipping and trucking and delivery system. We do about a 700 kilometer radius of delivery. We actually have access to deliver products most of the provinces in the country. From New Brunswick, from LCF, Leo Chouinard, we go to Eastern Quebec and part of Quebec. From Satellite and Ottawa, we go to the other side of Quebec. From Saskatchewan, we cover all of Saskatchewan, and we even go to the southern Alberta. We have a 5-hour drive that we ship a lot of products to Alberta right now too. The only place we are not there yet is Alberta. The rest of the provinces we have a presence, and Quebec we are not there, but that's because of timing or many other reasons. And sometimes being a Western Canadian company, I'm a pretty brave guy, but I still haven't got the right moment to go to Quebec yet. And I've been very, very politically correct about it. That's a tough province to do business for a Western Canadian business there. So, but we do a lot of business in that province there. So that's in terms of M&A and the country covers, we are covering the country. And then what's next? When we were talking about going public and stuff there, then one person said, so what is the point of consolidating and buying all the trust plant? I said, there is a time and a moment in our industry that I showed them a picture of a house. I said, you see this house without the siding or anything. There is a roof, there is a wall, there is a floor. I said, there's going to be a time and a place we will all have to manufacture components and ship them to the job sites. That means we are not just a roof manufacturer. We are a roof, wall, and a floor manufacturer. We manufacture it in a component, as part of a component like a jigsaw puzzle. We deliver it to the construction site, and I said, that's why we're going to consolidate across the country. You build your base across the country, you build your manufacturing bases, your sales force, your management, everything, and they call it in the public market your organic growth. You add the wall panels, the exterior, interior, the component, and the floors, everything, and that's why that is worth it then. So you are not, so there is a pleasure into consolidating the truss manufacturing business. It's a tough business to get to. Not many people start that. Once you're in it, you're in it. It's a very valuable asset to have 10 factories across the country that they manufacture trusses. The statistics in Canada doesn't show not many people open truss plants new, and the average of them being in business more than 3 years is very, very low. So that is the advantage of trusses. But the real advantage is when your truck ships a $5,000 truss order to a site, and then at LCF, we ship the same truck, the same driver is about $40,000 to $50,000 because you add the exterior, the interior walls, and the floor. And then what happens, I'm thinking, okay, we're going around, we're doing it, then all of a sudden the automation comes part because of the labor shortage. And then the robotics take place. And then now we become the first company in Canada that the building is almost ready. By next spring or next summertime, we will have our next robot first robotic plant in Clinton, by London, Ontario there. And now you look at how do you expand that across the country, because that takes capital, it takes lots of time and stuff, but we are very fast into making that happen. Then everything goes good if you're running your business. Right now in Canada and all over the world, we have a tendency now that you don't run your business and politics runs their politics. Politicians start poking their nose into everything now. So they're all talking about affordability, housing crisis, blah, blah, all of that stuff. So next thing you know, okay, we are 5 years, 10 years away from a full component manufacturing, everything, with all the narratives, everything going on there. Then it becomes, oh, we need to do it tomorrow. And we need to do modular, we need to do this, we need to do component and everything there. So it's become the forefront. So it's become a race. That how do we take advantage of, how do we take not just advantage, so it was like you have a strategy, next 5 years, 10 years, buy this, do this, do this. Now we need to do it tomorrow. And it just causes a lot of anxiety and loss of opportunity. And really right now is, and that's what I see with us right now. With the first robotic plant we're setting up, then we're looking at automating the wall panel manufacturing, becoming a wall panel component manufacturing stuff there. Like, we had a Q2 that wasn't very good. We didn't meet the investors, the analysts' expectation, and we got a good spanking in the market, and great, we deserved it. It's okay once in a while to get beat up, it's good for you. But what they don't understand behind the scene, all I'm doing is how fast am I going to set up the automation, the plant, the wall panels, everything. Because you see what's the opportunities coming out there. And really, and that's the part. Honestly, 8 years ago when I went public, I just thought I'll buy the trust plan, we change the culture, the sales force, and we become a major manufacturer in the country, and we make some big dollar profit. I had no idea now we're working on robotics, with the wall panel manufacturing, all the robotic manufacturers in the world, they phone us in Canada now. All the lumber mills phoning us, oh, you built the empire, we want to be your lumber supplier. 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, good luck to you, you're just a trust plant. So it's put us on a different map. And for you, for a lot of you, I know it, you've been a long-term investor with me from day one, most of you. I've talked to you, I've seen you. And I do appreciate your support and your patience. But I had no idea 8 years ago that the possibilities is bigger than what I thought it was 8 years ago. That is so much opportunities out there for us, and now we're trying to figure it, how to be patient, how to make the right move, and how to cash in that opportunity, that we are a fully automated component manufacturer across the country. Because this is becoming a big game right now. And it's become that. And that's what we are working on right now. From what the basis we have built with M&A, and then even if you notice the announcement we made, like where we bought Trustworthy between Toronto and Kingston, we bought 42 acres land in there, next to it. And then you wonder what happens in 5 years down the road. How many factories we're going to have that they're pushing up trusses and walls and floors and everything for Ontario. Then we have the same plan. LCF, we own 19 acres of land. That's one of our biggest factories. Now we're looking at what are we going to do in terms of automation, because the housing shortage, everything is there, but the one thing in Canada that people forget is the unemployment. There are unemployed people there, but you can't get people come and work in a factory. You don't. They want to be influencers, the younger people. So the answer is robotic. The advantage for us is put us in a position we can invest the last raise I did. Like some people didn't like it because of dilution, but they had no idea what we're going to spend the money on. That's robotics is expensive, and you need to be a big facilities and have a big factory and a big cash flow, plus have the big properties to set up robotics plant like we're doing in Clinton. And once you have one working, copying it for the rest of the country is just like a McDonald's picture. You just cookie cutter it. And yes, needs to be cash. You can't just go dilute your share price, everything, but we will find a way to do it. And that is what's opportunities, what is with Atlas. That it's taken us all these years to build the bases we have, do the integration, have the management, the sales force, the machinery, everything. That is just the foundation right now. The building starting now. The building started with Clinton by the first robotic plant. And that's what we're building right now. It's building the future on that foundation, really. And for most of you that been a shareholder for all the time and stuff, I do really appreciate your support. And all the time being through the thick and thin and stuff there, because without you, we couldn't do it. And it's a very inspiring thing to have so many partners in the country, all over the world, that they're sharing the dreams with you. Like, I used to be in the sports. I used to have a sport franchises. One thing was, they knew it. You have to fight. You don't stop fighting. Fighting is what makes you win all the time. I used to play rugby, competitive rugby, and I was the guy who did the fighting for the team. And even my broken teeth and stuff always shows it. And my sports team was, you have to fight and you have to become champion. And I always said, when my football team became a dynasty, I said, I'm going to take the trust business and make it a dynasty in Canada. And so the competition right now takes notices of all those dots on the plan. And they know we will fight. And we have the buying power and the strength to do it. And now we add in the robots to it. In 5 years, this is a different picture. You do not build factories overnight either. You don't do them by quarter. It takes time to build business, manufacturing, sophisticated manufacturing businesses. It takes time and takes patience and lots of due diligence. But 8 years ago to now is a different story, and 5 years from now it will be a different story. And really, that is the Atlas story. That's where we're going.